Romania, Slovenia, Poland, Croatia, Turkey, Iceland, Albania, Malta, Sweden, Hungary, Finland, Slovakia, Switzerland. Hello everyone! The first 22 seconds of this video aren't just a list of countries I've visited, they're the places I've filmed with my indispensable companion, my drone. Or, as I like to call him, Jack Sparrow. Like any other drone pilot, yes, I lost my drone. Why was this my worst trip ever? How can you avoid making the same mistake that led to losing a drone? We'll talk about all of this in today's video, but for now, let's look back at the best shots captured by Jack Sparrow. During my travels, I have visited 29 countries. Unfortunately, not all of my journeys were captured on camera, as I started my channel much later than I began traveling. Since Romania was the first on my sheet, perhaps we'll start with it. Bran Castle, often called Dracula's Castle, located near the city of Brasov. Although it is often associated with Vlad Tzepes, the prototype for Dracula, there is no confirmation that he ever lived there. Whether you believe it or not is up to you, but the place really has crazy energy. The shots, as you can see, turned out pretty good. Next, we went to the Romanian Carpathians to the Bicaz Gorge. This gorge is one of the most impressive in the country, with steep cliffs and serpentine roads. The shots turned out, as they say, cinematic. Slovenia was next on the list. In Slovenia, we went to the famous Lake Bled. Here I filmed the church, which is located in the middle of the lake, and of course, Bled Castle. I have very pleasant memories from this trip. One of my favorite destinations is the Polish Tatras. I come here very often. The nature here is gorgeous. Next on our list was Croatia. In Croatia, I flew a drone for the first time and filmed my first major project. In these shots, I test Jack Sparrow's range for the first time. To my surprise, the drone performed well. To film this ship, I flew 4 kilometers into the open sea. In Turkey, we filmed the Blue Mosque and Hagia Sophia. I would have liked to film a little more, but the seagulls were constantly attacking my drone, so I decided not to risk it. Iceland is the best place I've been to. It's all on my channel. I recommend everyone to watch it. In Albania, I visited the city of 1,000 windows and the famous Osumi Canyon. Both objects are included in the UNESCO World Heritage List and are the hallmark of the country. Malta also pleasantly pleased me with its landscapes. I shot a lot of videos, but most of all I remember the Blue Grotto and the Blue Lagoon. In Stockholm, I filmed the City Hall. Every year the Nobel Prize is awarded in this building. Since I live in Hungary, of course I have footage from Budapest. Here I'll show footage that I haven't published before. We only spent a couple of hours in Finland, but we still managed to film something. Climbing Mount Risi from Slovakia was a difficult test for me during these moments. My drone was also with me, and together, we shot a lot of cool videos. Well, our hit parade ends with the Swiss city of Basel. Despite network interference, the drone behaved with dignity and took some good footage on video. Well, friends, you already understand that my drone was a very expensive thing for me. Not only its price, but also as an assistant for creating content on my travels. What happened to him? A week ago, I went to Poland with my girlfriend. This is one of our favorite destinations. This time we went to a ski resort to discover a new winter sport: skiing. Last year we were in the village of Zakopan, where we went snowboarding. And this year we decided to diversify our content a little and get a new experience and go skiing for the first time in our lives. Why is this video called My Worst Trip? The loss of my drone is not the only reason why I named my video that way. There are several reasons for this. The first is, of course, the loss of the drone, along with which I lost my memory card, which I had previously used to shoot video on my action camera. I made a mistake and used the same memory card from the action camera for the drone, which I soon lost along with my drone. Thus, almost all the videos that I shot at the ski resort were lost. You probably thought that I was very upset about this incident. I can't give an exact answer. I think it would be correct to say yes and no. Of course, I was a little upset about the loss of such cool shots, but not as much as I could have been. After all, everything could have ended much worse. I perceive everything that happens to me as an experience, including failures. Even before I started blogging, I was very aware of the possibility of risks and failures. Unfortunately, falling or breaking of copters is inevitable. It also often happens that drones fall into bodies of water. Knowing all this in advance, I was prepared for such an outcome, which is probably why I wasn't too sad. Despite the fact that the drone is quite an expensive thing, I still bought another one, and now I will show it to you and tell you everything about it. This loss of the drone is just a small setback, but in no way will it make me go astray. But on the contrary, it will motivate me even more not to step back and continue to write my blog. Well, friends, I present to your attention my new and old drone. Considering that I lost the drone along with the battery, this is all that is left of my old kit. These are 2 batteries, a charger, a bag, filters, and all sorts of little things. Well, this is my new set. This set I bought on the secondary market. As you can see, the bag looks the same as the old one. This drone looks the same as my old drone. The only difference in it is that it can shoot video in 4K, while the old drone shot 2.7K. This drone model is a little older than my previous one, but all the spare parts fit my new drone. The package included 4 light filters. Now I'm showing you a close-up on the left. This is my old set without a drone, and on the right is my new set that I bought. Now I present to your attention my updated DJI Mavic Mini 2 combo kit. Let's see what we have. Put 2 kits into one. We have a drone including a battery plus 4 batteries, and then I have 5 batteries in total. There are also 4 filters from the new set. And 3 filters from the old set. There are also 4 filters from the new set and 3 filters from the old set. There is also another charger and a drone control panel and another bag. I plan to sell the charging bag and remote control. I will use everything else to create new content. I also now have additional sticks for the remote control. This is a very important addition to my kit, as they often get lost. Surely you will ask me, Vova, why you bought almost the same one, similar drone if DJ already exists? Mavic Mini 3 and 4, why not update? Buy yourself a newer one again. There are several models for this reasons. Well, first of all, I only lost my drone. Now I have the drone and components. Have you seen how powerful my combo is? I have a set of 5 batteries because I fly often, and a lot. For me, this is a plus. The second reason is that Mavic Mini 3 and Mini 4, they cost much more than my drone. And this is the reason for me. I don't have enough budget to update every year new drone. B perspective. Yes, of course, I will expand, improve, but it will already be in the near future. Well, the third reason is the drone I use. I've used it, and I like it. It's easy to use. He is small, he is very light, and as practice shows, over 2 years of use, I had no problems with it. There was only one time when I had some concerns, but it was more about my own decision rather than the drone itself. I realized that taking such a lightweight drone into those conditions was almost a suicidal move. In Iceland, the winds are extremely strong, and the weather is harsh. Many shots simply couldn't be captured because the drone is so light that it was literally blown away by the wind. But even if I had the 3rd or 4th mini model, the situation wouldn't have changed. So there's really no point in blaming the drone. In such conditions, you need a more powerful, heavier, and more advanced drone. So, what exactly happened to my old drone? In the next shot, I'll explain everything in detail. All right, folks, it's time for the We Flew It segment. Our trip was originally planned in such a rush, everything was so spontaneous, and nothing went the way we wanted. There were these little signs, you know, like hints that we needed to rethink and replan everything. Well, losing my drone was one of those moments. It got stuck on a branch and then fell. I have mixed feelings about it, to be honest. I'm really upset. It's not even about the money, although it was quite expensive. That's only half the problem. The thing is, it had been with us through so much. It traveled a long way with us, captured so many memories, and to lose it in such an unfair way. Well, I say lost, but it's technically still out there. It's intact, but I can't get to it because it's stuck high up on a cliff. It's just crazy. I only have a rough idea of where it is. The battery is completely dead, so it's fully discharged. I tried to find it using the locator. The drone has this sound and light signal for locating it, but with the river noise around, nothing could be heard. Even if I did hear it, it's about 70 meters up, hanging on a tree somewhere on that cliff. There's just no way to reach it. Funny thing is, not long ago, I was looking to buy a new drone and watched a bunch of videos where people kept saying, "Drones are bound to get lost sooner or later. Don't be upset. It's inevitable." And I remember sitting there thinking, nah, if you fly carefully, that won't happen. Yet, here I am, facing that same fate. What's even worse is that the memory card in the drone had all the GoPro footage from the ski trip. I'll try to recover it from the cloud, but I'm not sure it'll work out. Anyway, it feels like we went there for nothing, ended up with losses. This is the first time we've had something like this happen, but it's a lesson learned. We'll definitely keep this in mind for future trips. This is how the last seconds of my drone's life looked. Unfortunately, the moment of the crash itself was recorded on the memory card, which is now lost with the drone. But to put it simply, I was doing a side flight around a cliff and just miscalculated the height. It hit a tree, and that was the end of it. To be honest, the crash was entirely my fault, so don't make the same mistake. In the newer models, like the Pro versions, the 3rd Pro and the 4th Pro, there are side motion sensors that probably would have saved the drone. But my drone didn't have those sensors, so it was doomed from the start. And that's how it fought for its life until the battery finally died. All right, so I've already told you how I crashed the drone. But what was our original plan? The main reason for our trip to Zakopane was to visit a ski resort. This time, we wanted to try something different, not snowboarding, as we usually do, but skiing. It was a new experience for us. For our first time, we decided to choose a simpler resort, and without much hesitation, we headed there. Friends, since we had no experience skiing, we decided to choose a simpler resort. That's how we ended up at Nosal, which is just a 10-minute walk from the center of Zakopane, or a 15-minute drive. It's right behind me, but how disappointing it was when we got here and saw that it's really small. Even for beginners like us, despite never having skied before, we do have experience with snowboarding. I think that for us, it just wouldn't be worth spending money here. So, we're probably going to head to another resort, but we'll still show you what it looks like here. There are T-bar lifts, 2 or 3 runs, and the height is pretty much the same for all of them. The width is also quite narrow. It's really just for the absolute beginners. Honestly, there's no thrill here. The height is lacking, and overall, it's just a waste of time. So, we'll be moving on to another resort. Well, friends, exactly 1 year ago, right here, Irina and I tried snowboarding for the first time. Today, we decided to improve our skills and try skiing instead. It's a new experience for us, and Ira was the one who initiated this activity. Now, we'll give it a try. Hopefully, everything goes well. We decided not to reinvent the wheel and returned to the same resort we visited last year. So, welcome to Polana Shimoshkova, a small, cozy ski resort in Zakopane, perfect for beginners and family vacations. It has gentle slopes, convenient lifts, and beautiful views of the Tatras. It's a great place to take your first steps in skiing or just enjoy the winter atmosphere. Our first attempts at skiing weren't successful. We fell often, and our legs kept twisting. As I mentioned earlier, the footage from my action camera was lost along with the drone, so unfortunately, you won't see my falls today. Friends, this is really a tough activity. We're trying our best, but the results are not great. It feels harder than snowboarding, at least to me, but I think it's just a matter of getting used to it. Well, friends, we've made a change to our vacation plans. We decided to switch back to snowboards because skiing was just impossible for either of us. Plus, it felt pretty dangerous. Almost twisted my ankle, and Ira fell on her hand. At least we have some experience with snowboards, so we'll try our luck with them today. As soon as we switched from skis to snowboards before the descent, Irina decided to show off a couple of tricks. And after that, there was no stopping her. We never regretted switching from skis to our familiar snowboards.
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never.
Well, friends, compared to last year, it's amazing. We can really see the progress. When we tried skiing, it was a disaster, and we almost broke ourselves. So, we decided not to waste time and got a ski pass for just 3 hours instead of the whole day, because we have other plans. We realized that spending 3 hours struggling on skis wasn't worth it. You've got to enjoy your vacation, and snowboarding brings us that joy. You can really see the progress for both me and Ira. She's riding more confidently now. Yeah, mostly on the back edge, and not always the right way, just like me. But at least she's confident. A few more practice sessions, and we'll be able to ride quite well, and even go to bigger resorts. This resort is more of a medium-level place. It has gentle slopes, and very steep ones. On the second lift, the slope is super steep, and we fall there a lot. But on the gentler slopes, we're doing great. For the 3-hour ski pass, we paid 300 zloty for both of us. As for the snowboard and helmet rentals, we'll pay for them once we're done for the day. After a long journey and an eventful day at the ski resort, we were exhausted and headed back to our apartment. The accommodation we rented was located outside the city. The house looked like a hunting lodge, only much larger. For an additional fee, the host offered us access to the sauna and jacuzzi, which we gladly accepted. Even though skiing didn't go as planned, the day ended on a good and pleasant note. Guys, the atmosphere here is incredible. As soon as it started getting dark, people began lighting their fireplaces. You can see smoke rising from almost every house. A gray, misty smoke. And the smell from that smoke? It's just like in childhood. It feels like I've traveled back 20 years. It's an amazing feeling. Well, folks, it's time to say goodbye to this wonderful place. New adventures await us. We're now heading to one of the valleys near Zakopane. There are several caves there. One of them is paid and operates seasonally, so it's closed during winter. The rest are free to visit. It's currently above freezing in Zakopane. But, as you know, it's much colder in the mountains. There's a chance we won't be able to get to the caves if they're buried under snow. Or, who knows? Anything could happen. We'll see how it goes. I hope everything will be fine, but I'm prepared for the possibility of facing different weather conditions up there, and maybe we won't be able to explore as planned. Either way, we're excited to take a walk through the valley and check out some new hiking trails for our future trips. About 30 minutes later, we were already at the start of the trail. This is the very valley where I lost my drone. Entrance to the trail is paid. 20 zloty for 2 adults. Just like at Morskie Oko, there are horse carriages here too. However, unlike at the lake, the carriages here are 2-seaters, while at Morskie Oko, they are larger and can fit up to 10 people. We didn't ask about the price because we want to walk, but keep in mind that the entrance is paid. I saw some people going in without paying, but I believe this money goes towards maintaining the nature reserve, so 20 zloty isn't much. It's better not to be stingy, pay the fee, and enjoy the nature. So, the Kościeliska Valley. As we already found out, the entrance is paid, but it's definitely worth it for the views this valley offers for such a symbolic price. It's famous for its easy trail, making it perfect for hiking with children. Our goal is to visit at least one of the caves, which is another highlight of this valley. Aside from the fact that this is where I lost my drone, everything else here is almost perfect. Mountain views, small plains in some areas, numerous wooden bridges. Overall, it's a place that truly soothes the soul, without any exaggeration. Friends, our route is now going to get more challenging. We're going to veer off the main trail and head toward the Milna Cave. I'm not sure if it's open because the internet cut out, but people are walking there, and there's a path with chains. It might be dangerous and slippery, so let's see how it goes. Now, we're starting our ascent to the cave. Irina doing great. She's handling it well. It's not as slippery here as we thought it would be, which is a good thing for us. Thankfully, there are chains for safety. We've just been letting others pass by as they head down. We're not alone here. Hopefully, we'll see something worthwhile, and maybe the loss of the drone will at least be justified. Fingers crossed. As we ascended, breathtaking views unfolded, and we carefully looked around, enjoying the beautiful nature. With each step, we were getting closer to the cave, but at the same time, we couldn't help but stop to admire the surrounding mountain landscapes. So, Irina, how's your first hike in such mountains?
This is my first hike, but I like it.
Do you feel the nature around you? Would you go on a similar hike again?
I really like it here, although the climb is very tough for me. I think I would gladly go on a hike like this again, but not today. I'm really tired now.
Literally a few minutes after our rest, the entrance to the cave appeared before us. Finally, we reached the cave. Now let's see what's inside. It's very interesting. It's very dark here. The main thing is to watch your step so you don't get injured.
Are you scared? A little, but it's okay. We can't go further, there's a dead end. Light it up for me because I can't see anything. I see that the cave gets narrower ahead. I'm scared to go further, and you shouldn't go there either.
Let's try to film as much as possible. Oh, I wish I were shorter. I have such a tall height. Someone's over there on the other side. It's almost a tunnel. There are people on the other side. We won't crawl there because we'd get stuck. Very interesting place, spiders. Look at these. They are huge. If you're afraid of spiders, don't come here. There are tons of them. And butterflies. Well, there's a whole microflora here. I'll tell you, it's a cool spot. It's really humid here. Everything's dripping. Everything's flowing. Look at this. People are passing through it. It's an interesting activity, I'll say that. Further ahead, the cave narrows, and with our huge backpacks, it would be impossible to crawl through there. Especially in these spots, you start to feel claustrophobic. Interesting, a cool place. The Soap Cave, or whatever it's called. It's nice. I even thought about how maybe there's a bear hibernating in there. Anyway, it's cool. There are a few more spots. If they're on the way, we'll visit another cave. If not, we'll head back. Well, after weighing all the pros and cons, we've decided that we're really tired and we'll head home. The trip was interesting, despite our losses. What do you think? Should I go back and try to find my lost drone? Write your opinion in the comments. Well, that's all for today. Thanks everyone for the support. See you in the next episodes. Goodbye.